This is CAF TV. Welcome, everyone. I'm Alex Bastivansky, bringing you all the action from the Canadian Academy of Football. On the agenda today, I'll have a feature on Logan Reich, Jenga Academy's under-14 superstar. Also, Ruben Flores of CAP Academy will join me here in the studio to discuss his program, which features some of the top talent from the Guelph area. But first, let's get to the Sport Check Matchday highlights. And Ruben's team were in action last Sunday. CAP had climbed into a tie with GCS for second place in the league, and they were looking to keep on moving up the standings. But first, they'd have to get past a suddenly streaking Burlington side. Matchday highlights now brought to you by Sport Check. What are you sweating for? And CAP wastes no time in getting on the board. Just the 8th minute of play, Spencer Wright feeds who else? Nick O'Reilly. He absolutely tattoos it into the far corner, and Nick with one of his patented celebrations after one zip cap. But Burlington starts to put it together. 18th minute, Matthew Maslenka with some sweet moves, shakes the defender, but gets denied by the crossbar, so it remains CAP in the lead. 3 minutes later, they nearly hit again, but it's Burlington's Mikey Pazda with the goal line stand to bail out his keeper, and that would prove to be a huge play down the line. Burlington comes right back. Christian Starcevic gets it to Jordan Baker out front here. But Jordan, he definitely wishes that he had that one back as he blows it wide. No worries. 31st minute now, Starcevic threads the ball to Matthew Liziak, who uncorks an absolute beauty to beat Callum Knox. Gorgeous shot. Burlington knots things up. We're all tied at one apiece. This one's even nicer. Just 5 minutes later, Matthew Maslenka taking on CAP all by himself. And the finish is pristine. Just under the bar. Burlington suddenly find themselves on top, 2-1 after 36 minutes, and just before the half, they pad their lead. Off the free kick, they get a couple of cracks at it. Knox can't handle the tricky little bouncer there. Baker atones for the earlier miss, and B-Town have a 2-goal cushion. On to the second half of play we go then, and CAP makes it interesting. O'Reilly floats a beautiful pass in for Olu Ogunute, who chips it up, over, and in to cut the lead to 3-2 Burlington. And that sets up a dramatic finish because dying seconds now, CAP with the free kick. The keeper misses it, but again, his defender bails him out with another goal line stand, and Burlington holds on. 3-2 is your final. Afterwards, Burlington coach Chris Lako was satisfied with his team's play, especially considering they weren't able to field a full team for the match.
We're starting to show more heart, even though we're missing a lot of our players, and I had no substitutes today. That the kids really worked hard and they really pushed and battled for the entire game. What we need to do better as a team is when we're in the lead to keep possession of the ball and don't allow the other team to get back into the play. So hopefully we can work on that, but I'm pleased with how they showed heart and they battled throughout the game.
You know, you kind of get the feeling that Jenga Academy just can't seem to catch a break. They played well in all 5 of their games this season, but heading into their contest last Sunday had only a single win to show for it, and they were looking to get back on track against a hungry Dragon Force Academy. One thing that's been consistent all year in the Super Group has been a team striking early. This game was no exception. 3rd minute, Logan Reich. He's been on fire the last 2 weeks. He makes it 1-zip Jenga. DFC comes right back, though. Alex DiPiero had a game to remember. Here he fights out the Jenga defender and coolly slides it home past the keeper to knot things up at 1 through 12 minutes of play. 5 minutes later, Liam McCarroll lets it rip from distance, but just can't beat the crossbar. There was some mustard on that shot, though. Then the rain came, and DFC pressed hard. Already up 2-1. They make it 3 in the 36 minutes as they head into the dressing room. Onto the second half we go, and Jenga has a comeback in mind. Fernando Estrada and Reich play give and go. Estrada gets chopped down in the box by the keeper to send him to the line. And Fernando's had a few of these this year, hasn't missed one so far, and he keeps the streak of perfection going to make it 3-2 Dragon Force through 42 minutes. Then Logan Reich, from about Queen Street, fires the ridiculous shot home to knot the festivities up at 3 apiece. Jenga just refused to say die. But then it's DiPiero taking charge for DFC. First he takes the feed from Kai Vicari, feathers it over the keeper's head. Beautiful. DFC takes a 4-3 lead through 59 minutes. They nearly go up by 2 moments later, but the Jenga keeper comes up with the massive stop to rob Mark DeLang and keep hope alive for the Reds. To set this up, last minute of play, Logan Reich in all kinds of traffic gets off a hard shot. Alessandro Procaccini, and that was a game saver. What a stop, and the final whistle blew just seconds later. Dragon Force hangs on for the 4-3 win in a vastly entertaining game from Lamport Stadium. DiPiero with 2 goals for Dragon Force and Reich with 2 for Ginga in a losing cause. One other game to tell you about on Sunday, and Dragon Force went down hard against GCS, dropping a 6-1 decision at Lamport. Back to CAF TV. Let's check out the Super Group Super Standings brought to you by Yogurt's Frozen Yogurt. Epic still on top, tied with GCS now, but GCS has played 2 more games than Epic. Epic will have some games to make up in a couple weeks when the schedule resumes. Ginga still on the bottom now with just 1 win. Upcoming games, Sunday, July 19th, GCS taking on Dragon Force, Epic against Ginga, and CAP against Burlington. Note the location, it's going to be at Centennial Stadium on the 19th. And just remember, for all the up-to-date news, stats, standings, and the schedule, head to cafsoccer.com.
Sharp and quick. Stand your side. One blue in each square, you keep possession away from orange. When orange is steal the ball, orange, you get open as a striker, as a center back. Go.
In order to play them, and I think that that's what is giving us success. Every time we adjust to play the opposition, and today we have to be smart to play the way that I want to play. Today we're going to have only 1 center mid. Instead of having 2 like always, and then 3, I want to attack. And I want to pressure them so that the ball doesn't come. Here, it should be no problem because Suki is going to play with Adam. I'm taking Jacob out, which is...
And I'm joined in the studio now by the technical director of the CAP Academy, Ruben Flores, who's also the director of the Guelph Soccer Club, and the star striker from his under-15 girls team, Sean Milligan. Welcome to the studio, guys.
Hi, Alex.
First time on TV, by the way. She's excited to be here, so we're excited for her. So we were just watching the warm-up. We were watching the dressing room comments you had for the guys before the game on Saturday. You had some heartfelt words for them. You gave them some great instructions. But you know what hit me watching the guys warm up as I was filming that actually. There's so much energy, so much positive energy, smiles on their faces. It's not like they were just put through their paces and stuff. The guys seemed to really be enjoying what they were doing on the field.
You know what? It's thanks for the invitation, Alex.
Yeah.
It's great to see them. It's just that's what football is all about, right? Kids happy, kids playing, and you saw it. These kids, every time they go to the field, they enjoy it,
yeah.
and they give everything what they have. And what a great environment with CAF and the super group, with all the professional surroundings that we are trying to give to this league. And I think that's very important.
It's rubbing off on them too. You can see the excitement. Just we'll quickly talk about the game. Tough loss to Burlington. How do you think the guys played?
You know what? It's a tough league. We'll talk a little bit more in depth of our team, but we have a very stretched group. We have 11-year-olds, 12s, 13s, and 14s. Mm-hmm. So we know that results is important, but it's not the only thing for us. So we know that when we come to these games, we're going to have games like this, and that's exactly what we want. We want these kids to have tough games. We want them with good competition, therefore they can develop, which is the magic word for us.
Sean, you play on the under-15 team.
Yep.
For Guelph soccer team. So it's called GAP in Guelph and it's called CAP when you're playing in CAF. So this is your first year.
Yep.
Playing with CAP. Now, do you feel it's helped you develop as a player so far?
Yeah, I feel like the practices, we really go all week and it's really shaping me as a player, the great girls and the great coaching. It's really good.
Tell us a bit about what she brings to the field.
Sean is a great player. Number one, she's a great girl. fantastic player, great attitude, and he's one of the players that are the most important in Guelph soccer. She's been there since she's a little girl. She's all Guelph soccer. She's somebody that is involved in the community, her family. So I think that those kind of girls are the ones that we want on the team. And then she can score goals. She can play. She's committed, and therefore one of our key players on the girls' side.
Were you watching the big game this weekend?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tough one.
Is this the ultimate dream for you, playing for the women's national team?
Yeah, it is really.
Yeah,
is.
definitely. The girls' programs that exist at Guelph and through CAP and GAP, what age groups are we talking about here?
Well, Guelph Soccer Club is like every club in Ontario. We have from under 4 to under 18. Now we have girls like Sean and like some of the players that you see on the CAP Academy. And these kids are really committed. They are the football kids, the ones that want to practice, the ones that want to get better all the time. Therefore, we made an academy within the club. And
I
this
believe what you said to me on Saturday was the cherry on top, right?
is the cherry
cream
of the
crop.
cake. Yes.
Yeah.
So these kids are the kids that are the best players on the teams, on the rep teams.
Right.
And we bring them together to the next level.
Right.
To an environment where they're going to practice 3 times a week, where they're going to travel to play, where they're going to have better competition. They are disciplined technically, tactically, as human beings. They become better persons, responsible. We start talking to them as little adults, some of them, and give them that responsibility and discipline that the sport gives. We have U10s, 12s, and 15 girls teams.
Right.
We have U10, 12s, and 14s boys teams.
We're going to
That's-
talk more about it in depth in just a moment when we come back here in the studio. More CAF TV coming up in just a second. Welcome back to CAF TV. Joined once again in the studio by Ruben Flores, the technical director of the CAP Academy, and joined also now by one of the star strikers on his team, actually his son, who is Marcelo Flores. Guys, welcome to the show. So let's talk about him and what he brings to the game. He's your son, you can talk him up, but you know what? One of the top players on the team, one of the top players in CAF that I've seen so far, and should be playing realistically under 12 as well from an age group. He's playing 2 age groups up, which I think is phenomenal. Talk about him as a player.
Well, he's just a kid that loves football. He's been doing it for a long time, and we're just trying to help him and challenge him and guide him through the ranks of football, right?
Right.
He's an 11-year-old kid still. He plays for the U12s, and the idea is to bring him to the under 14s and start throwing them there a little bit, challenge him a little bit more. And it's happened a couple games that he's been going in, but every time he goes in, scores a goal. And therefore, I think that if a striker scores goals, they earn a little bit more time
Absolutely.
on the team. So he's been scoring a couple goals, so then little by little, he's getting some time.
How are you liking it? How do you like playing up 2 age groups against these guys who are obviously a lot bigger than you, but how are you liking the experience playing against the more experienced players?
It's great. I like playing with the older ones because it makes me work harder and play faster and be aware more.
The game moves at just another level, doesn't it?
Level
Just a
pace,
little
yeah.
bit faster. What about the physical element? I've seen you take a pounding a couple of times where you've been knocked to the ground. You go absolutely flying. These guys are a couple heads taller than you are.
I try to avoid that, and if someone comes at me, I try to pass around them
Right.
and just try to not get injured.
You're like the Energizer Bunny, though. I've watched you. You're down and you bounce right back up, though. It doesn't seem to bother you in any way, shape, or form. Let's talk about your dad here for a second. Let's talk about your background. You've got a great pedigree as a player. You played professionally in Mexico before you came to Canada. Just give us a bit of an idea about your background.
Yeah, again, we've had a conversation like that, me and you.
Last
and
weekend, yeah.
That's how we grew up, right?
Yeah.
I'm Mexican born. We play on the streets, love the sport. I was one of the fortunates of making it to the professional teams. I did a career of 16 years playing professional. Atlante, Cruz Azul, Irapuato, Toros Neza, Tabasco, Mexico.
Played in
And
Azteca Stadium,
I did a
obviously, in
couple
front of
times.
100,000
Yes,
people. No
yes.
atmosphere like it in the world.
Oh,
It's incredible.
crazy.
Yeah.
Good stories over there. A couple
Yeah.
good coaches helping us to go through that because it
Right.
could be nerve-wracking. But
Right.
it's a beautiful venue.
Yep.
And after playing, I decided that I wanted to become a coach. Always my dream was to be a professional coach. Then I moved to Canada, and I discovered all these kids in Canada that love the sport and love the game, and I wanted to play football. And every day, less and less, I want to coach professional. I think that
You like
I
coaching the
really
kids
enjoy
better.
coaching kids and develop young players.
So you come from Mexico. Mexico with a tradition of like uber talented players, really fantastic technical players, so much creativity and imagination also. Canada, reputation for so many years of kick and chase football, and that's what we've basically been known for. When you came to Canada, and actually you've probably played against Canadian teams before even coming to Canada, is this something you notice as a hallmark of Canadian soccer?
Yes, that's one of the big things. When I came to Canada, I saw this passion. I saw all these kids and people that really love the sport. I see a future on the sport. I knew it was going to grow. But that was one of the very first things that I noticed when I came to Canada. I said, well, they have to develop more. Like you said, not only the creativity, but in South America, Central America, Mexico, we are grown with the ball and everything is on the ground and everything is little touches. Everything is technically correct. Right. And here, there's a lot of athleticism and there's a lot of potential. But one of my ideas since I came to Canada was trying to pass that into the Canadian kids. And that's what we do at Wealth Soccer. Wealth Soccer is a developmental club where we get kids any age, any stage, and we teach them how to play the proper game. People that can control the ball, people that can dribble, that can have a good touch. Therefore, they can enjoy the sport a lot more because they can do better things.
We've been watching some of your training footage on TV here. Talk about some of your sessions then. Just give us a breakdown of some of the things and some of the skills you impart into your players through the training sessions.
As the videos that you can see, we are focused on the ball. Every kid has to have a ball. You have to practice with the ball and control the ball the best you can. Right. Therefore, you can be a good player. A couple of years ago, when I came to Wealth Soccer, we had a lot of talent, a lot of players like Sean, like Marcelo, like Nico Riley, many other players that we have in the club. And I knew that they liked it, but they needed more of the ball. So we did a partnership with the Corver method, the Ajax Academy. We went all into ball control, into dribbling the ball, having lots of touches every practice. And that following to having 1v1s, 2v2s. Right. When we moved to the 3v3s, it became a small-sided game. So now we're teaching the kids to move with the ball, but also now to play a small-sided game. And this last year, we made a partnership with the Barcelona Escuela. We did a camp at Wealth. Right. We got all our coaches to attend the camp. And now the kids, every practice is with the ball, it's skills and small-sided games.
We could fill an hour talking about this, and you and I do get off talking about this stuff when we're actually at the games and stuff like that, but we're almost out of time. So if people want to find out more about this and about the camps and also how to join up with CAF and GAP and Guelph Soccer, guelphsoccer.ca?
That's it.
Okay, we're showing it on the screen right now. Guys,
Good.
Thanks so much for being here. Really appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Have a good one. Thank you for the invite.
CAF TV will come back in just a moment. Welcome back to CAF TV. As previously mentioned, Jinga Academy's had a rough ride from a one-loss perspective so far this season. But from a development standpoint, they're churning out some phenomenal young players. One such star is Logan Reich, a 13-year-old striker who's one of the province's top young players and has left the opposition shaking its head on numerous occasions this year with his highlight reel goals. The CAF Player Profile brought to you by Leica Sports. Your passion, our commitment. Logan Reich has been the main man for Jenga this season. About that, there can be no debate. The 13-year-old striker leads the team in goals and brings a variety of talents to the pitch each game. He's a player who likes to lead by example.
I feel like I bring confidence to the team. Like, if we're going down, I feel like I can motivate the team by playing harder. So if I play harder, then another person's going to play harder, and then it'll just be a chain until everybody starts playing hard, and then we can play hard as a team and win the game.
He's a type of player that where I have him on the field, I can count on him at all moments to receive the ball, to find other players, to finish the game. Definitely, he's one that his skill level is ahead of his time. His touch, his shooting, he can shoot with both feet, dribble with both feet. He can control the ball with both feet. So the type of player he comes into the field as a type of player where he's a leader and someone where I can count on for sure.
One thing that makes Logan so dangerous is his passing ability, something that's been honed since a very young age and away from the pitch as well.
Because every day, most of the time, I would always go out with my dad and we would just stand about 30 yards apart and just pass it back and forth constantly until the pass was like perfect, maybe 50 times out of 51 or say.
Logan's passing, he's the type of kid where he sees things already 2 steps ahead. So his imagination and his creativity to play those passes that other kids don't see, it's there on the money almost every time.
Reich's scoring touch has to be seen to be believed. One of CAF's top snipers, he's scored numerous highlight reel goals for Jinga over the years.
I've developed shooting in many different ways because I'm out on the field all the time. Kevin's given me different ways to shoot the ball, and I would thrive to be able to be as good as he is at shooting that particular way. And I would just use it in a game situation.
Last year, Logan, he blew up and scored 45 goals, including scoring 6 goals in Spain in a tournament where we played against Sevilla and some other great Spanish teams. Last year, he scored 45 goals, so it's in him to score goals. Around the net, he's very dangerous. He loves to score goals. He's very tricky, and he can definitely do some damage to other teams.
For Jinga's Kevin DeSerpa, having a pupil such as Logan Reich is a coach's dream come true.
I love coaching players that want to really play, who have the determination to show themselves, to show their game on the field every single time they step on the field. And Logan is one of those players. He wants to show you, he's determined, he wants to have results, he wants to score a goal, he wants to play his partner in for the goal. So winning mentality definitely is on Logan's side.
All right, time for the CAF Countdown. The top 5 plays from the Under-14 Supergroup last week, brought to you by Focus Integrative Therapy. Focus, dedicated to your ongoing health and wellness. Number 5, Nick O'Reilly, doing what he does best, hammering it home against Burlington for one of CAF's 3 goals on the day and then celebrating in style. Number 4, Jinga's Ashton Barless robs Dragon Force's Mark DeLang. Gorgeous stop to keep Jinga in the game. Number 3 now, Burlington's Matthew Liziak from the edge of the 18-yard box. Oh, baby. That was a huge goal to tie the game against CAF. Number 2, Logan Reich from way downtown. Nothing to see here, folks. Please move along. Logan's been doing that all year long. Number 1, Matthew Maslanka taking matters into his own hands against CAF. That's a beautiful strike, and it was the game winner in a tight 4-3 contest. And our Supergroup Super Player, brought to you by Phillips Moving and Storage. Phillips will get you there. And this week, the honor falls to Alex DiPiero, who was an absolute monster on the pitch against Jinga for DFC. Alex terrorized them all day long, setting up plays, scoring 2 goals in the contest, including the game winner late in the second half, as you're about to see right here. Alex has been a standout for Dragon Force all year, and he nabs our CAF Supergroup Super Player for the week. And that's all the time we've got for this week. Just remember, though, there's lots of different ways you can keep up to date with all the age groups of the Canadian Academy of Football. Check out the league website at cafsoccer.com or on Twitter at CAF_football. And you can also follow our Facebook page as well. Thanks so much for tuning in, folks. I'll see you next week for more CAF TV.